You're what drives us away. Welcome to winter in Toronto, everybody. Now you might be wondering why I'm not in that perfectly dry road over there. Reason is if you go on that road, water splashes up on you and you just get soaked. If you go on top of the snow, it's a little bit more dangerous, but you stay remainingly clean because it's just snow, you just brush it off. So, yeah. Hey guys, what's up, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel, Maiku here. Today I want to talk to you guys about boosted boarding in the winter time because a lot of people have questions about everything. And I just thought it'd be a good time to talk about it. Oh shit. Okay, that was wet. Okay, this is a winter wonderland here. What am I doing here? Nope, that's a spin out. Yeah, you better notice that the booster boat will do this in the winter time. And it's stuck. Donut. Alright, so this guide isn't really for the faint of heart. In fact, this is actually probably a pretty terrible idea in general. But if you use your booster board to get around the places, and it's like the only way to get around your city or whatever, then this guide is for you. Alright guys, so let's answer some of the questions that you guys probably are asking. I know you guys are asking, but I've heard them 1,000 times before. One, does it rust? Yes, it does. I'm actually kind of anticipating on it because one, I've upgraded the bearings on this boosted board. So the motor bearings, which are a lot bigger than the regular standard skateboard bearings, I got a ceramic version, so make sure that that does not rust. Now, for the bearings that are on with this boosted board, I did upgrade to the Bones Red, whatever bearing. They're like 20 bucks. And I actually anticipate that they're gonna rust by the end of this season. So I'm just simply gonna replace all the bearings once the season's over, and there you go, you still have a working board. Second question is, how do I keep my legs warm? You might notice that this are the same waterproof pants that I'm wearing when I was like raining out in the summertime. So there's a simple solution to that. Right now I'm wearing the Heat Tech Level 3, which is the same stuff that's this thermal wear. So basically just wear it underneath the pants, and it's just really toasty inside. It feels really good. Helmets. So there are some guys that buy snowboard helmets out there. I use this is the same helmet I use in summertime, the 1,000 helmets. And I've just added like these $20 snowboard goggles I got from Maiku. And pretty much they just work like this. You need the goggles in the wintertime because when snow blows into your eyes, it just hurts. And especially if it's hail, especially if it's like any other like debris, it just hurts in general. So 100% recommend this during the wintertime. Like this is actually really warm in the wintertime. I think it's because there's no like the 1,000 helmet doesn't have like those bicycle grooves to let cold air in. It's just like 3 holes in the top, 4 holes at the back, and because there's no airflow coming in through the helmet, it's pretty warm. Next question is, do you use gloves? Yeah, I use gloves. These are leather gloves that I use specifically for everything really. I've tried those like fabric type gloves, but I find that the wind just goes straight through those type of gloves, and eventually you're gonna get too cold to use the remote anymore. So just get leather gloves. Just get some pair of gloves that are like you can feel the remote. As long as you can feel the remote, it's fine. Wind doesn't go through this. I'm happy with this. Wintertime, it does get pretty dark really early. So I do equip a whole shit ton of lights all over my body. On my backpack, I have a flashlight in my hand. I need to make sure that I'm 100% visible because I'm usually wearing all black, so that you can see is a problem. 99% of you ask, does the battery drain faster in the wintertime than it does in the summer? I can attest to this, yes it does. In fact, you're losing roughly about 30 to 40% of the battery life in the board, depending on how cold it is. I was riding around in like negative 26, 27 degree weather, roughly about a 35% drop. Anything lower than that, it just gets crazy. I haven't had experienced a full shutdown yet with the battery yet, which is a good sign. Unlike the Apple iPhone, which just dies immediately once it hits cold temperatures. this thing is actually pretty good. You're not gonna get stranded because of cold weather. Fingers crossed. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but. Next up, let's talk about accessories that you can get for the boosted board. This is gonna be now the accessories guide for 2019. What can you do to better prepare your booster board if you just owned one, if you're like a long-time user, whatever. I have about 5,000 clicks on this board. I've traveled with it all over the world, so I want to tell you these top tips, so that way you don't end up screwing up your board like I do. All right. If you go out in the winter time and it's like wet out, then I highly recommend that you wash off the board before you bring it back into your place, because it's gonna be filthy. And two, you need to get the salt off the board, otherwise the salt is going to erode through the metal on the board. So make sure you just wash it all off, because that's the best way to like ensure the durability of your nice expensive thing here. And I just do that by like just spraying water, hot water, and it just all comes off. Some people have been saying that this is a really dumb idea, but I've been doing it for like a year and a half now, and there hasn't been any ill effects on this board. Get off. And if you need to, get a brush. This is like a brush from the dollar store. Just like scrub it down. Scrub it all down. I'm wearing these waterproof Nike trainers, or whatever you call it. They're all splattered. I don't know if you see it. It's like all splattered and shit. So I'm just gonna like spray it all off. These are also the Nike Jordan. Oh no, these are the skateboard versions of the Jordans. So I'm gonna discover this was a terrible idea very soon. Alright, so I don't feel wet. No, my ankles are wet. Okay, whatever. Oh yeah, so next time I'm going to talk about how to better weatherproof your board for winter and rain and pretty much anywhere you're going. In fact, you should probably just do this right now, because that's probably a great idea. Alright, so quickly let's just go over some weatherproofing tips so that way you guys can do it to your board and you can start riding. One, I put gaffer tape on these screws here. One, because I think these screws sometimes just fall out. I've had some just like fall out because I didn't tighten them enough. Gaffer tape, both sides, covers it up, nothing's going anywhere. Two, I have this like random box of like boosted board stuff, which is like super important, kind of important, maybe important, but here, this is what I'll show you. So this, standard battery. Okay, next is this guy. This guy, super, super, super important. So if you are a long-time boosted board rider, if you're a newbie, or if you just got a whole set of new motors because, you know, these things break, and this is like my 7th motor so far. So this is my motor cable. This is a brand new one I just got from Boosted. You might notice that on this side, oh, let's just try to pull this off. One hand, oh, okay. On this side here, you might notice that I have, is that in focus? A heat shrink rubber tube on this bottom section here, surrounded by electrical tape. The reason why I do this is because every single one of my motor cables, they fray at the part, this plastic piece and the cable, they just like separate for whatever reason. I do not know why, but it just does. So in order to prevent any type of further damage, even on this brand new one, this is just more of a preventative measure. This is, what is this? This is like a piece of gaffer tape that I just wrapped around a single spot. The reason why I did that is when these clips break, when the cable clips break, which they always do, the cable eventually rubs against the motor guard, and because you're going at such a fast speed, there's the friction between the motor guard and the cable. It like just completely cuts straight through the cable. I've had some motor cables that happen, and it's just like a fault in design, I think. I think future forward, in order to prevent accidents, Boosted should probably be using a rubber-like material for the back riser, or the risers in general, as opposed to a hard plastic, because it's just, these things break so easily. If I had one recommendation for Boosted, I would highly recommend that they, one, install the bumper on their own on their boards, because, you know, we just shouldn't have to buy third-party products in order to protect our boards, and two, the back riser with the cable clips, that should be made out of some type of rubber material as opposed to a hard plastic, simply because a hard plastic just breaks so easily. Okay, so that's it for me. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. If this has been something that's helpful for you, leave a comment below. If it's not, then, I don't know, leave a comment below. Remember to ride safe in the wintertime because it's inherently a very dangerous thing. There's black ice, there's a whole bunch of crazy things happening on the roads, especially here in Toronto. Drivers are just insane in this city. Same thing in New York, really, too. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Okay, bye.